Hi, I'm Sophie and I'm an artist, and here I am as a bug also. I just got back from Ireland on a trip of a lifetime and it was amazing, and I travelled with a bunch of other amazing artists who I didn't know, and now they're my favourite people, and I filled a whole sketchbook. Anyway, let me show you my adventure. Let's go. It goes like this. I got a bunch of emails from this company called Trover Trip, which I immediately trashed because I thought they were spam emails, because they were offering something that was way too good to be true, and I couldn't understand why they would choose me to do something like that. Basically, they wanted me to host an artist retreat to a different country, a country of my choosing, and I couldn't believe it. So yeah, I was like, that is clearly spam. But no, I got on a call with them eventually, and they sounded like real humans and they were real nice and answered all my weird, wonderful and slightly silly questions. So I was like, what the heck, I'll go ahead, I'll try it, see what happens. And I put a call out on my Instagram and other social medias to ask to see who was interested in whatever this is. And I had an amazing, overwhelming response to this idea, this wild idea. So long story short, Ireland was the number one choice that we all went through from a survey of over 800 people. When it came time for me to release the tickets, ticket drop, I was convinced that no one would come. I was rolling around on the floor in the studio being like, oh, no one's ever, I'm gonna be the last. But it actually sold out in 2 hours, all 15 spots. And I, again, was rolling around on the studio floor now I have to do the thing. But yeah, that's amazing. So trip was booked for 6 months' time in July 2024. I had spent almost all 6 months thinking of this trip and planning for this trip and coming up with all these cute little goodies for all my travelers during that last 6 months, that when it came time for the actual trip, I was pretty exhausted. So in a nutshell, I'm hosting an art retreat, teaching a bunch of people who I'd never met before how to fill a scribbly travel journal sketchbook across Ireland with me. Wild, right? Wild. Anyway, let's begin the video for real right now. And so Lucy and I began our long travel over to the UK. We took an 8-hour flight from Melbourne to Singapore, had a 5-hour stopover. We did a little bit of drawing, had some snacks. Then we did the dreaded 14-hour long haul from Singapore to London. But we arrived in London a little bit peely-wally, but we were okay. We did some walking around, hung out at the Natural History Museum, did some drawing, wandered around some more. By early evening or late afternoon, we were done. So we put our little heads to bed. The gentleness of this day, of the morning specifically, was, I reckon, top 5 of my favorite days in my whole life. It was gorgeous. Lucy and I took ourselves to a little art shop, a coffee shop, which was also a dog groomer's place. So we met an amazing human who worked there, talked about dogs, drank coffee, and then went to this park, Holland Park, which we had the plan to just sit somewhere nice and paint for until the afternoon, and eat some nice food and get some snacks. And it was so lovely and lush, and Lucy saw squirrels for the first time, which was so exciting. We don't have those in Australia. And just painted our little hearts away. The flowers were beautiful, the atmosphere was beautiful. Honestly, take me back there forever and ever and ever. And in the afternoon, we had a long walk, which resulted in blisters and some owies, but it was okay. We ended up at the V&A, had a look there for a minute, met up with a friend who I didn't get footage of, and then saw my beautiful friend Kat in Harrods for the most expensive meal we've ever had, but it was yummy. And we just drew together and hung out and caught up, and you know, that was it. That was our time in London. And then we went to bed. On to the next adventure. But first, I don't even want to talk about the train situation. It was highly stressful, but we managed to get on the train eventually, and the train took us to Holyhead, which is in Wales. The most amazing train trip ever. Like, we went through a castle. It was so freaking cool. And then we got to Holyhead, had a little bit of a chill, and then found ourselves on a ferry. Well, we didn't find ourselves. We knew we were going on the ferry. We went on the ferry, and it was rainy and cozy and lovely and a bit fancy. And it took us to Dublin. So we made it finally to Ireland. Yay!
True, you ride the finest horse I have ever seen. Standing 16, 1 or 2, your eyes wild and green. With you ride the horse so well, hands light to the touch. I could never go with you no matter how I want to. Ride on, see you. I could never go with you no matter how I wanted to.
This is probably what you're here for. This is what you came to see. You came to see my Trover trip section of the video. Maybe, probably, I don't know. But I just want to preface this by saying, I don't know what I want to preface this by saying. I loved it. I want you to meet all the travelers that came with me. They are phenomenal people. You're there. Okay, now you've met everyone. Welcome to the Wandering Scribble Club. I called us the Wandering Scribble Club trampoline mouth. I called us the Wandering Scribble Club because I just really like branding, and this trip was just another excuse to do some branding and make a cute logo and a cute name. And so that's why we're the Wandering Scribble Club. So welcome. Premise of the trip is to get together with a bunch of other artists who also want to do a bit of travel together, who may not have people in their sphere of friends or family who also like to paint and draw and travel while making art. So it's a good excuse to get together with a bunch of people who are willing to do the same thing, to draw as much and hopefully fill a travel journal, sketchbook with all of our memories of the trip and landscapes, and do some en plein air painting, to do some little demos, to do some little teaching moments for people, and just like build a really sweet community and new friends and hopefully lifelong friends. These people started as strangers, all except for Lucia. They all started as ultimately strangers. I had little like connections with people on Instagram and through comments and that sort of thing, but more or less strangers. And by the end of the trip, like, I formed some of the most amazing friendships I have ever had in such a short amount of time, and just amazing. So I managed to do a really special deal with this sketchbook company called Stillman and Byrne. They so graciously gifted me 16 of their sketchbooks to give to each of my travelers and for myself to fill and use during our trip. So grateful for them, so thank you Stillman and Byrne for the amazing sketchbooks. So it was really, really wonderful to be able to give everyone a special sketchbook, and I also gave them goodie packs, which you have probably maybe seen on my last video. If you haven't seen, go have a look at that. That's all about what I packed and how I got ready for the trip, and I included a section on what goodies I gave to every single person. But everyone gave everyone goodies as well. So on the first day, on the meet and greet, everyone like swapped and shared a bunch of gifts and goodies and sweet things with each other, and it was like the most heartwarming introduction ever. It was the cutest time, one of my favorite times. So day one was like just a wonderful giving welcome party. It was really, really sweet. But yeah, let's just like get into the actual trip, what we did. I'm going to show you some cute sketching times, and the proper sketchbook tour will be coming soon. So I'm not going to do a proper sketchbook tour now, but you're going to get some cute little drawing shots and painting shots across Ireland. So let's dive in, roll the clips. I love this as well. Our first sesh. Not much happened day one. It was mainly meet and greet, swap and share, cute goodies. We went out for dinner, had a little explore, and like went to bed. We were exhausted. So day two is where it really begins. Day two was filled with lots of excitement, lots of nervousness, lots of awkwardness. We were still getting to know each other. We were just very fresh-faced humans in Dublin, let loose. We did a little walking tour, which was amazing, and then we took ourselves to the park and sat and drew in the sunshine for a while. I was really shy at this point. I was really like putting my most out there to go and talk to every single person, but naturally that's not really who I am. I was shy. I just like wanted to be in a little acorn shell and be cradled. But it was an amazing experience. Like pushing myself to do something like this has been like like the benefits have well outweighed the anxiety. What an amazing bunch of people. So on this day, yeah, it was a lot of getting to know each other, and by the evening I feel like we're all really warming up to each other and had some lots of giggles and started opening up to each other, which, you know, was amazing. On day 3, we finally got to meet Jerry, our bus driver, and he had this amazing coach, took us around, and our first stop was amazing, the Rock of Cashel, which was this incredibly old, gorgeous castle, and the sun was shining, the views were incredible, so we all sat down together and did a bit of painting, a bit of light painting, a bit of light drawing, before it got too sunny and too hot. But the view, just amazing. And we all sat together and it felt like we got a little bit cozier with each other. We had some in-jokes developing at this point, which was really nice. And, you know, I did a little bit of like talking through what I was doing with the people beside me. And yeah, we all headed out after the castle, got some snackies, got some lunch, had a bit of a play, and you know, this is when we started all getting a bit silly with each other and started really opening up and kind of, yeah, just like letting our inner sillies out and just, you know, unmask a little bit around each other. It really started getting really fun on this day. We even had a moment where we shared each other's fidget toys around the bus, which was great. This is a room in Killarney. Here we are. Oh, it's a video. It's a video. I've never seen her move so fast. That's lava.
And then they won't erode as easily as this guy. And I think this is tunnel light. So this will get eroded, and then that's why they're sticking out like this. I'm so tired.
And that's the volcanoes over there.
Like yeah. So everything is tilted away from the those big mountains. I think they're like cinder cone volcanoes. And then of course they're dead now. Everything is fine. But then the lavas are like coming from this direction, and then you can see like the remnant of the this is like one lava flow, and then several million years probably, and then another lava flow, and then there's like another one that's kind of eroding away now. Whoa! Oh, the top too. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's so cool. Excellent spot.
This day was the best. We got so much footage to paint and draw later. Like today was full. We did the Ring of Kerry and we were out and about until way past the time that the driver was meant to be back home. We saw lots of doggies, we saw the most amazing landscapes, we had lots of giggles, lots of silliness, lots of quiet times. We watched a sheepdog do his thing, which was very cool and very amazing. Dogs are just so wonderful. How did we get so lucky to have such amazing little creatures at our sides all the time? Oh, I love dogs. Yeah, today was just magical. The multiple people in our group got teary-eyed and blubby-hearted at the beauty of Ireland during the Ring of Kerry. I did a little bit of a workshop where I showed people what, how, and why I paint the landscape in front of me. That was good words. See, I'm a great teacher. Good at words. And then we just had a couple of really cute pit stops, and I don't know, today was just like when our hearts connected, as we're just, we just formed the bond fusion, connected forever and ever and ever. But yeah, lots of giggles, lots of really good times, and we got lots of photos together. I took so many photos. One con of the day is that we didn't have really any time to paint and draw together. It was very like go, see all the locations, which on one hand was amazing because like it's right there, and you know, to see as much as we did get to see, you have to kind of keep going the whole time. But you know, in exchange for that, we didn't really get to paint and draw very much, which was a shame because we were all like so filled up with inspiration and like the itch to do some painting. Yeah, it was a really lovely day, and I always like to put my feet in water, in bodies of water. I don't know why, it's just, I don't know, it's a thing that I like to do. It just feels connected and just like lush and wild and free and refreshing. I love it. Yeah, so we did end up commandeering a room at the hotel later in the afternoon when we got back, when everyone was really tired and sweaty and exhausted, but like brimming with inspiration. We commandeered one of the rooms that the hotel offers for like I guess conferences and stuff like that. So we all kind of stayed up until, well, not all of us, some of us went to bed like very smart humans, but a lot of us stayed up and painted and drew until almost midnight, which ended up becoming a bit of a regular thing for the rest of the trip. We ended up finding rooms or finding spots in common spaces and just taking over with drawing and just getting silly, eating snacks, drawing, painting, catching up. And those times were some of my favorite times. Would you believe me if I said we had another truly magical day? We ran around Adair Village like little rapscallions for a little while, soaking in the beautiful park and the beautiful buildings. And then swiftly we were off to the incredible Cliffs of Moher, where we spent a good 3 hours, I think it was, just looking at the view, soaking in the atmosphere, listening to the accordion, and drawing, painting. It was really, really lovely. It's hard to keep track of. That looks gorgeous. And there was one moment where this little girl who didn't speak any English, she was with her parents, came up and they asked if she could borrow a piece of paper and some watercolor paint. So she painted the Cliffs of Moher with us for a little while, which like really sparkled my heart. It was so cute. I love when children do things.
I like this color.
That's where I live.
That me too, girl.
I really like this.
I know.
That's really cool. That's very cool. Then after a beautiful but long, twisty-turvy corkscrew roads, we made it to the glorious Galway.
Yeah, it was like trying something new. What do you think? I want to flip it at the same time.
I'm gonna hit you with a surprise. We had another magical day. The most magical day. This was one of my favorite days. Driving through Connemara National Park was just phenomenal. Like the magic in the land just like broke my soul with love and sparkles. I'm being dramatic, but it really, really, really felt like such a beautiful and special place. After a little picnic lunch, we found this tiny little hill spot looking out onto a field of horses and trees and beauty at the Connemara National Park, and we played a little drawing game, which was really, 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 really fun, and we all giggled and laughed the whole time. It was very silly. It's basically every single person would draw in their own sketchbook the landscape in front of them for 2 minutes, and then we'd swap to the person next to them and they'd continue the drawing for 2 minutes, swap again for 2 minutes, times 15. And by the end of it, every single person in the group had their own collaborative landscape drawing done by everyone. And it's just such a special little thing to have in your sketchbook. Just a good memory, and it being touched by every single person in the group.
Everybody grab!
Doing their thing. Hey.
So in the early afternoon, we all were just like vibrating with the urge to paint and draw, and our wonderful bus driver Jerry, who is a local to the area, thought, I have the perfect spot for you all, and he drove us to this amazing landscape, like a loch with mountains and trees, and it was just beautiful, and it was like nice and quiet, a little hill for us all to sit on. So we all went there and sat and painted for several hours, and I did another little demo where I talked everyone through my thought process and how I make decisions, and you know, how I go about doing the landscape in front of me, what I want to remove, what I want to keep, how I paint water, this, that and the other. And it was just a very nice and sweet time as usual.
You did it. It's beautiful.
So good. So nice.
I love the.
That is so good.
I was trying to make it like.
Perfect angels express from heaven. What are you doing here? And then after dinner, we all commandeered another space in the hotel and painted together until nearly midnight. I'll cut. Start again. Hi. There you are. You've got a little, you're looking at a butterfly. I love them. I love those humans. Okay. I did finish a sketchbook. I didn't quite finish it while I was there, but mostly. And I'm really excited to show it to you. It's filled to the brim. Every single page is covered, and I'm really proud of it, and I'm really proud of myself for doing it. And I just want to read you something that I wrote at the very end of the sketchbook. As I close this travel journal, I am filled with gratitude for the time spent among the rolling hills and stunning coastlines of Ireland. A landscape that felt nothing short of magical, moving me in ways I'll carry with me long after the pages of this sketchbook are closed. Traveling with a group of like-minded, sweet humans who began as strangers and now feel like a family with such a special gift. Each moment shared, from quiet sketchbook sessions to the silliest of giggle attacks, deepened our connections and filled my heart with great big sparkles. It was a rare and special privilege to consciously carve out time to paint and draw amidst such inspiring surroundings, and I leave this big journey feeling so nourished and recharged. This sketchbook is bursting with scribbles and colour and wonder, and maybe some bits of Irish magic tucked in between the pages. I can't help but dream of the many more adventures ahead, where art and new connections will find me again. A little cheesy, I know, but you know, those are the feels. I'm a bit of a cheesy person. Quick moment of vulnerability. I just wanted to pop in and say that, you know, I have never felt like a person who really truly fitted in anywhere. I always felt like I didn't understand people very well, or I felt like no one really understood me in my friendship groups throughout my whole life. And being with this group of people, we are all neurospicy in some way or another. And I just felt like I could be me. I could say my words in weird ways, and I could just like unmask and be unafraid to say strange things and to maybe, you know, ask strange questions or just like blob around and blether around and roll around. I felt truly accepted in every way, and I just want to say a great big thank you to all my travelers who helped me to create such a sweet, caring, trustworthy and safe space while we were out and about in a foreign land. That's all. So yeah, this is something I would love to do again, and let me know if it's something you would be interested in joining me on one day. We'll see. My adventures did continue on after this. I ended up going to Scotland for another 3 weeks with Lucy, and we had on top of that another amazing grand adventure, and I'm going to share that with you as well soon in a future vlog. But in the meantime, keep your eyes peeled for the sketchbook tour. It's a good one, I'm gonna promise you that. Yeah, great. Let me know where you'd like to go, maybe, and maybe I'll see you there one day. Tooroo, love ya. Whoop.